Hi,
Hello.
everybody. Hi, everybody, and welcome to this new episode of GrooveAsia Leader Unite, GLU, also known as GLU. So I'm very happy to be with you with Karen. Hello, Karen.
Hello.
And also want to say hello to Shingyu, who is backstage helping us for running this show and will also send to us your comments. Please type hashtag live in the comments box if you are with us right now, and we thank you for that. And last time um, we had a lot of engagement from you, so it was great. It was
hmm
great, and thank you very much. And type replay if you watch us on replay, even if you're not with us right now. Of course, we encourage you to send comments because we read all of them, and we can yet answer any question you may have. So,
hmm
welcome to this GLU session, and today with Karen, as often on Friday.
Yeah.
Um, I will give you the floor in few moments, Karen. We um, we prepared for you a very interesting topic concerning project management, and um, let's give let's have a discussion with Karen about this session. How are you,
Yes,
Karen?
I am
How are you?
doing great. Hello, Michael. Yes, this session is going to be great. Now, with the information that I am sure that will be useful to the entrepreneurs that are here in our community, and anyone that has a project. Now, if you think as we do, that project management is an interesting topic. Please stay with us for the next about 40 minutes and type projects with the S in the comments.
Yes, in the comments. But before, let's introduce ourselves because probably people know us, but I know that some people can uh, don't know us yet. So let's begin with my wonderful partner, Karen. She's a digital professional, a digital marketing professional, and also a key person in her projects with GrooveAsia, with Summit, and but please, Karen, tell the world who you are, please.
Sure. I am Karen Allen. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia, in the USA. I joined Groove Asia since last summer, uh, not in October, but I've been with them just kind of listening in until when it first started out way back last summer. And I started about in October getting really involved. So I've been really excited about what I'm doing right now. And I'm also working, and I'm the director of community support here at Groove Asia, and I'm also affiliated with a Summit. So also that's enough about me. And I share the spotlight with my French co-host Michael K, a man of multiple talents in web design and advertising, who is equally essential in Groove Asia and Summit. Please share a little bit more about yourself, Michael.
Yes, thank you very much, Karen. Yes, we both work on big projects with GrooveAsia, with Summit. Um, Concerning me, so I live in France. I'm French, and I'm a father of two young sons, 2 years old and 4 years old. And professionally speaking, I mean, I was an employee for the last years, and recently, 3 years ago, I decided to work on my own and to work on a field that I already knew in when I was an employee, and it was marketing. It was also websites, digital marketing. So I decided to be an entrepreneur myself, and I discovered a very interesting and warm community inside GrooveAsia, and also Summit, and around we you, we will talk about that in one moment. But I'm really happy to be involved in this community, and I
Right.
really want you to discover that and join us if you can in the next days, the next weeks, because we have lots of interesting projects, and we want you to be part of that, all of that. So thank you, Karen. What can I say more? What can I say more?
Right. Well, you can tell us a little bit about Groove Asia itself.
Yeah, yeah. So GrooveAsia is a company that provides a powerful all-in-one software to grow your business. It's also a community that provides exclusive digital marketing and online entrepreneurship trainings with the help of another company that is called Summit. And Karen,
Right.
you will talk about that.
Sure. Summit is another company that partners with Groove Asia and is a platform that provides real world education from the best speakers in the industry to change lives. Now, Summit Company provides training, events, workshops for entrepreneurs all over the world. And you know, you really don't have to be an entrepreneur to be part of Summit. There's really great information from great people, A-list speakers, that you can apply these things to your life. In fact, we have a big event that's coming up this weekend with Justin Furnace. Uh, it's in partnership with Summit and with Groove Asia that we're going to be hosting Justin Furnace, and he spoke earlier yesterday. Awesome, awesome. Now, he is going to share his Life Print OS system. Is to read people's minds. Now, imagine how powerful it would be for your business in closing sales, negotiations, and understanding your clients better in order to serve them better by being able to unlock your mind reading powers as an entrepreneur. Now, you can join us in his 2-day workshop. It's going to be happening April 23rd and April 24th at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. GMT plus 8. That's Singapore time. And since I'm in the USA and the East Coast, that is 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. Um, Thursday, no, Friday night. Friday night. Friday night, yes. And you can sign up at Summit at www.summitasia.com/VIP. Now, the membership also entitles you to 1 year of exclusive access to 10 live transformational workshops worth between 3,500 to $10,000 USD. 4 past workshops in the Summit Library, each worth at least $1,000 USD, and exclusive entry to the Summit Mountaineers VIP community, where you can connect and learn with fellow like minded individuals who have invested in themselves also. So we'll all be together like kumbaya. That will be a great thing to uplift each and every one of us. So please join. That is summitasia.com/VIP. So hope to see you there. So, Michael, please introduce the topic of the day. Now, this is, as we said, project management.
Yes, yes, Karen, I can do that with pleasure. And yes, we will speak about project management. So we decided with Karen to speak about that topic today. Obviously, we won't be able to say all aspects of management, project management, but we consider about creating other sessions on the same topic,
Mhm.
project management. We will be able to go deeper on what we will present to you today. So, management, you can be interested by that if you are a project manager, of course. But if you work in a company as an employee, if you run different projects, um, if you have the ambition to manage project, of course, it can be interesting. Um, and we all do things by instinct. Sometimes we say, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that. We have to do lists, and we think that it's enough. I mean, if you have the motivation and a to-do list, and and if things are done, we consider that it's project management, but it's not. And when I did research, I discovered that project management is a whole uh, topic. um, there are lots of theories, uh, and a variety of methodologies and processes. So we don't necessarily always have in mind that managing a project is a discipline in itself. I mean, it's a topic in itself, and it could help us. It can help us to optimize what you do and to be more efficient. So let's dive in.
Right.
Karen, let's talk about project management. What is it? Can we dive
Sure.
in?
Sure. Project management, what is it? How is it implemented? Now, these are the questions that we're going to be answering today. More specifically, we're going to define and walk through the 5 phases of project management. Let's begin. Now, first of all, let's define what project management is. But before we go there, let's find out exactly what is a project. Michael.
Yeah, yeah, because project management, we are dealing with project, and maybe it's interesting to say what is a project. It's something that you want to do, and that have to be planned and planned to because you want to achieve a particular aim. So a project could be lots of things. It can be a personal project you have, so you will work alone. It can be a professional project inside your companies. It can be a project with other entrepreneurs if you are an entrepreneur. It can be a piece of software. It can be a website redesign. It can be also the construction of a building, of a new building. So
Hmm.
we will speak about different methodologies that can be useful for big companies, and other methodologies can be useful for little company or individuals or small teams. But you will discover, as because in my research I discovered that even if we speak about a methodology that is useful for a big company, for instance, for example, for Toyota, that was often that is very famous concerning project management because they created methodologies and processes. We will speak about that,
Hmm.
but you can handle that for your own projects, even if your team is tiny.
That's
So
right. That's right. Well, let me tell you, since we're talking about projects, let us know in the comment box examples of projects that you've already carried out in the past, or what you're working on now, or what you're going to be working on in the future, so we can read them and see what you're doing. Okay, Michael, what can we say more about projects?
so every project is unique. A project often aims to create something innovative. If it's not innovative, it can be a project, but often it's something new. So you have to deal with new processes, and so that's the reason why it's interesting. I mean, project management is interesting because you have to discover how to do things with the resources you have. In a
Hmm.
professional context, uh, a project often means the realization of a new product or a new service. So if you are
Hmm.
in a company, or if you are an entrepreneur, you want to launch a solution that you have to be paid by clients. So of course you have lots of strategies, marketing, communication to do, but um, and production. You have to create the service, to create the product. So everything can be considered inside a project that can be tagged tagged or
Hmm.
labeled with the name of the product. So definitely, I think it can be considered as the realization of a new product or a new service. Um, a project
That's right.
requires a delicate balance between expectations you have, so the new product or service, and the constraints you have.
Right.
If you are alone, if you have a team, a small team, it can be a constraint. If you are a no budget or a low budget, it can be also a
That's a
constraint.
big constraint. Big constraint. No budget.
and
Low
and
budget.
still, if you have to launch the solution, you have the product or service next week, it can be also a constraint because you know
Exactly.
that to create and launch a product can be prepared several months in advance. So
Right.
yeah, be delicate and choosing your your expectations because you always have constraints that can be it can be difficult to deal the project with these constraints. And in principle,
Exactly.
project is not just a toast idea, but is meant to be described and planned. If your project is not described and planned, it's not a project. So I thought it was necessary to define what is a project when we speak about project management. And
Hmm.
now I propose to read the comments. Do we have comments about people that are speaking about their projects?
Well, I know we have Trader Rob on the line that's watching live with us, and I know for a fact he has lots of projects. He has a lot of projects going on. He does. So
Yeah, we work with
thank you,
Rob. Rob
Trader Rob.
Rob is also a director in projects we have with the GrooveAsia and Summit.
Hmm.
So thank you, Rob, to be with us today for this GLU session. If you're watching on the replay, please do comments and tell us what are the projects you think the
You're
session
working
today
on. Hmm.
can be useful. We will give you advices, tips, and also resources that will permit you to dig deeper on the topic. So
Right.
let's dive in the best practices in project management. I would like to say that you have to start where you are and where you want to be. The second advice is break goals down in smaller parts. It's an obvious. um,
That's the whole point of project management. Break it down.
yeah, it's goal settings in project management.
Hmm.
Um, the third point is make goals specific and measurables. And maybe Karen, you
Sure.
can.
Well, another thing you do as far as the goals settings for project management is you match goals to team member strengths. You want to give the team member who excel in a particular area. You want to give them a project that's going to hone in their strengths and focus on learning as well as accomplishment, which is very important. The team wants to feel like they've done something great. Show relevance of goals to keep the team motivated. Your team needs to know why they're doing what they're doing. They need to have a reason, a purpose, so they can be motivated to complete it to the end and agree on what the goals mean. You know, these, Michael, I have to say, when I was listening to Justin Furnace earlier, well, for me, it was earlier today. Uh, he was talking about these same things. You know, when he well, it wasn't Justin Furnace, but it was Coach Keen was talking about these same things when where he was talking to Ching Yu in this interview with him, and he was talking about how your team needs to have purpose in order for them to stay with the company. Otherwise, you're going to have a high turnout rate. That people need to know why they're doing what they're doing, or they going to be leaving. So that was with Coach Keenan that King Yu had interviewed earlier today. So this is really hitting home. So we have two models that can help us for those goal settings, and we have the SMART goals. And SMART goals are a method to help ensure that goals can be thoroughly vetted. It also provides a way to clearly understand the implications of goals of the goal setting process. Now, SMART is just an acronym of specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Specific, to set specific goals, answer the following questions: the who, what, when, where, which, and why. For measurable, you got to create criteria that you can use to measure the success of your goals, so you know when you have attained them. Basically, attainable goals, you want to identify the most important goals and what it will take to achieve them. Something that you can actually do. Realistic goals, you should be willing and able to work towards a particular goal, and timely, create a time frame to achieve the goal. Make sure there's a start point and an end point.
Yeah, it's great. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Great model. So this SMART goals model is very famous, but I
Mhm.
wonder if the audience know the other model we want to present to them, and this model is called clear goals.
The
Clear
clear
goals.
goals. Yes, we have the clear goals. Another acronym here is a newer method for setting goals that take no consideration the environment of today's that takes into consideration, sorry about that, it takes into consideration the environment of today's fast-paced businesses. So clear, the C stands for collaborative, is the goal should encourage employees to work together. L is limited, they should be limited in scope and time to keep it manageable. E is emotional. Goals should tap into the passion of employees and be something they can form an emotional connection to. Now, this can optimize the quality of the work that's being done. And A is approachable. You can break larger goals into smaller tasks that can be quickly achieved. And lastly is refinable. As new situations arise, be flexible and refine goals as needed. So that's the clear method in goal setting.
It's great. It's great. So this two models, smart and clear model, are definitely good tools to set up, to define what you want to do, and to define also, um, to brainstorm. Because if you have an objective, if you want to achieve something, maybe you can, before working on it, it's a good thing to take a time to define what you really want to do, and how you will be. I mean, sometimes we work and we don't even think about the success. I mean, how will you be sure that the project is working? I mean, you need to have, to have an analytics. How can we say that in English? It's the key points. Um,
The KPIs?
KPIs. Yeah, I was looking. I was looking for the meaning of KPIs. It's
Oh,
I don't remember. I will I will remember
it's
that.
a performance indicator, or I could just be
Yeah,
making that
key
up.
performance indicator. So yeah, of course, thank you. So we will speak about that in next sessions. We will speak about how we do project management analyze.
Mhm.
But I think you should do what a project manager should do. So what a project manager should do, to plan. You have to to do a planning. You have to organize. You have to ensure projects are on time, on budget, and within scope. So you, if you're not an organized person, you have to force you to become uh, an organized person because as
Right,
a project manager, you should do that.
right.
And project
I know that.
management, what can we say more about that, about methodology?
Well, what is it? Now, I know we have taken some time in discussing, explaining what a project is and some of the methodologies of project management. But project management is a method used to guide a team to success. It's a way of making complex problems and concepts easier and clearer and actionable if you didn't get that beforehand. Now, there are many frameworks and frameworks inside frameworks to make this happen. Determining which one to use is dependent on time, budget, stakeholders' involvement, industry, and resources, just to name a few. However, each framework share the same commonalities in getting the job done. Now, each framework has its pros and cons. Now, keep in mind that some are better suited in certain work situations and certain projects. And we want to briefly share some of the more popular frameworks with you.
Yeah, please consider that we obviously we are not experts in project management. I say obviously because we we don't know all the methodologies, we don't know all the processes, and we won't teach you deeply what are these methodologies. But we did research, and we discovered that lots of frameworks can be useful to you. So I will give you the names of these methodologies, of these frameworks, of these methods, and please take notes. If you have the possibility to take notes, do that. Take a paper, take a pen, and write the names I will give to you right now. So the first name I want you to take note is Agile, Agile. We speak about Agile methodologies. So it's the first name, and we will speak a little about that. The second one is Scrum, 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 Scrum. The third one is Extreme Programming, Extrem Programming. The fourth one is DevOps, Devops. So please take notes, and in few minutes after the show, you will go and you will Google all these names and find by yourself informations, because we did this research ourselves, and we are sure that if you dig deeper on these names, you will discover interesting things. The another name I want you to take notes is Kanban, Kanban, Kanban. You probably know this name because it's people, lots of people use now softwares for project management, and inside you have a Kanban feature. And another name is Scrumban. You probably know Kanban, but do you know Scrumban? Scrumban is Scrumban. Scrumban. So you knew Scrum, you know Kanban, and you have Scrumban. It's a mix of the two. And you have also Lean, Lean. So all the time, if you Google that, you type Lean, for instance, Lean project management, Kanban project management, and you will find resources. Another one is Waterfall, water, Water, fall, Fall, in one word, Waterfall. Another one is Prince 2, It's another methodology called Prince, like a prince, not a princess, a prince. And the number two, Prince 2. Another one is PMBOK, PMBOK. And sometimes you will find it with PMI before. So PMI, PMBOK. And another methodology is called Six Sigma, SIXSIGMA, Six Sigma. And another one is called Critical Path Method, Critical Path Method, and also called CPM, Critical Path Method, CPM. So let's talk about that. And
Right.
the first one was Agile Methodologies.
Right. So briefly going through the methodologies and just tell you a little bit about each one. The agile methodologies aim at collaborating to iteratively deliver whatever works and allows continuous incremental improvement through small and frequent releases. That's the agile methodology.
Yeah, it's an agile. I can add. I think we won't develop all the methodology, but I would like to today to speak more about agile because in the next times we will speak about another methodologies. I
Michael
want.
was really excited about the agile methodology. He really likes
Yeah,
that one.
I during my research on it, I discovered that agile methodology is a big thing. It was
Hmm.
created at the beginning of the millennium. So it was in 2001, the year 2001. And it was created by people in the area of software. And they created this methodology to permit to be better in what they do. So I can sum up agile methodology can be summed up as deliver incrementally instead of all at once. If you
Hmm.
are a team, it's preferable to do little steps than do a big step at the end of the project. I mean, it's preferable to deliver incrementally.
Hmm.
So agile is is interesting because of course there is a methodology, but there are also values, and you can find these values in a document that is called the Manifesto, Agile Manifesto, and
Hmm.
I encourage you to to do research about that. And Agile methods um, generally promote a disciplined project management process. I mean, you have to be dedicated on these processes, and agile method encourage frequent inspection, inspection and adaptation. A leadership philosophy that encourage teamwork, sorry, self-organization and accountability. People have to be organized by themselves. I mean,
Hmm.
employee, team members. A set of engineering best practices intended to allow for rapid delivery of high quality software because it
Software.
was
Hmm.
created at the beginning for software, but you can use this model for other things. And a business approach that align development with customer needs and company goals. I mean,
Right.
sometimes you have people that work on the product and people that work on getting clients, and they don't speak enough. So in this agile methodology, client is important and so important that production people and sales people have to work very deeply together.
That's
So
right.
I won't go deeper, but please consider that agile methodology is a very big thing, a very interesting topic to explore if you are interested in this project management topic. And the second
Right.
one,
And
Scrum.
another one is Scrum. Scrum Methodologies aims at enabling a small, cross functional, self managing team of 10 or less to deliver fast. Scrum is often constructed in 2 week cycles with short daily meetings.
And you know, agile at first was created for software. So you have to know that Scrum is a subset of agile, is
Mm-hmm.
a framework that was developed not only for softwares but for product developments. So um, I won't go deeper, but you have to understand that one of the main points is that the process of project management have to be light. You don't have to spend too much time about managing the project in itself, and you have to spend more time on the operational task. I mean, to permit your project to be okay. So
Right.
I won't go deeper on Scrum, but you have to know that Agile methodology and Scrum um framework are deeply linked.
Right. And another framework we have is that stream programming is a process framework. And that aims at doing development robustly to ensure quality. It has short development cycles and multiple releases to improve productivity. Customers aren't sure. This is for customers. You use this when your customers aren't sure what exactly they want. So you want to be continue to do this. Have short cycles. Then you can bring it to them, and then they can say, "Yeah, no, do it again," kind of thing.
We give to you example. Extreme programming is as the name say, it's inside the software development industry. Lots of project management interesting methodology were created in this software industry, and extreme programming is also a subset of agile. So with another um, not a philosophy, but they added a methodology on top of the first one. And I want to give you an example of what extreme programming can bring to you. Even if you're not a programmer, you can analyze what they decided for them and say, oh, maybe I could use that in my process for my project. And so the example I want to give to you is in extreme programming, people have to work together at two people at the same time in front of the same screen all the time. So, and extreme programming is the fact that it requires pair programming. That means that two programmers work at one workstation, and
Hmm.
one of them is doing the job and the other one is with him to help him, to assist him, and to review what he's doing at the same time that he's doing at the same workstation. So an example of a process that is used by lots of companies, small, middle, big companies, and that can be an inspiration maybe for you to say, okay, if I have this project, maybe I can create teams of two people that will work very deeply together. And it can be an example. So it is an example I chose. And another methodology is called DevOps. uh, it it's not linked with agile, but I would say it's a competitor. There is no competition, but because but it's another model, and it is used uh, by companies that are not only in software development but more in IT operations, and it's and DevOps focus on the fact that how how can we optimize the processes using also human triggers and also automations. I mean, today in the world we have lot automation is a big potential for optimizing things, and so DevOps is working on these issues.
Mhm.
After that, we
Mhm.
have Kanban. Kanban is a popular framework used to implement Agile and DevOps um, methodologies. So Kanban is a tool that you can use to. It will permit you and your teams to visualize what you're doing, and one of the objectives is also to avoid a lots of tasks that are not finished.
Mhm.
Sometimes we do multitasking. At a personal level, I do a lot of multitasking, and I open lots of tasks, and the challenge is to finish the task. So with a Kanban, you visualize all the tasks that you opened and you did not close. So it's very very useful, and people all over the world are using this tool called Kanban. And
Right. Actually,
maybe we can,
Kanban, I don't
yeah.
know if you know this, Michael, but Kanban actually means billboard in Japanese. It improves speed and quality of delivery by increasing visibility of work in progress and limiting multitasking. It helps reduce inefficiencies and is a great tool for lean manufacturing and agile projects.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, of course. It was that I said, and I'm sorry because I had to explain more. I mean,
oh, go
Kanban.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I'm sorry because I said what you wanted to say, but it will permit to have a real time communication and transparency. It's another important thing. Transparency will permit team members to see every pieces of work at any time. So it's very interesting. So
Hmm.
you have to know that Kanban is a lean tool, and lean is a framework we'll speak about uh, with you right now, because you also have another thing that calls Scrumban, and
Hmm.
Scrumban is a mix between Scrum and Kanban.
Hmm.
So let's talk about lean.
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 Lean is a streamlining. It's streamlining and it eliminates waste to deliver more with less by optimizing technologies, assets, and the verticals.
So the seven lean principles are: optimize the whole thing, the whole. Eliminate waste. So what we call waste of energy, waste of time, waste of um,
Redundant processes.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So it's oriented to quality and fast. I mean, fast delivery,
Hmm.
and also another principle of lean is to create knowledge, because knowledge is a very important asset in project management. People have to know things, and when they discover something, they have to inform the others of what, that they discovered. And
Right.
commitment is also important, uh, and respect people. It
Respect.
can be obvious, but lots of companies agree with that, but in a practical It's not always the case. And
Right,
so we can speak about two or three
right.
other models.
We have the waterfall, where aims at planning projects fully, then executing through the different phases.
Yeah, waterfall. So waterfall methodology is a project management approach that emphasize uh, the fact that you you have a progression of what you do. This methodology, it's a methodology that is used by engineers with how can I say, iteration. So um, you it's difficult to understand. I will learn more about that, and I will come back to you with more information about waterfall. I admit that it's a model that I don't really know well, but I will in next days and weeks uh, try to understand, because this model is used by engineers, and as you know, engineers do complicated things sometimes.
They
So
do.
we have to go and understand what they say. And so we have another model called Prince 2.
Yes, Prince 2 controls, it's a controlled project management system that leaves nothing to chance, nothing at all.
Yeah, it's a very old methodology, not very old, but uh, before Agile, and it's a process that is very demanding. Um, but you can use this demanding methodologies that is used by big structures, even if you have a small business. Um, Everything in Prince 2 methodology is well structured, and uh, everything is breaking down extremely. So again, I have to come back to you with more information about that. But with the research, I know that it's a very difficult model to use as for a small company. So it's mainly used for big company.
Right. So the last two that we have is, and we're going to go through these really quick. We have the PMI's PMBOK, and that is a project management professional, and PMBOK is that means um, project management body of knowledge. That's what that means. Okay, now it is a method, is structured approach to analyze the needs, resources, and scheduling to make the most of project management. Now, these key components lead to the most effective and comprehensive approach to project management and its um, subsequent methods. So there's 10 knowledge areas of project management. What we have there, Michael?
Yeah, I found 10, we can say, components. Inside your projects, you can divide things, and
Hmm.
you can say, okay, I have a project integration management. So that means that in a company or in a team, you have lots of people that are working on lots of projects. So if you are responsible for a project, you want everybody understand what is the project, what is the direction. So you you need a strategy to integrate people, integrate the tools that are available inside the company. For instance, you need to organize everything for this manage project management thing. So you can use a software for that, and we will speak about that in next episodes. We will speak about softwares that will be useful to permit you to integrate lots of people, And also information is very important. So you have also a project scope management. You want your project, don't, you know, you are in the road like that, you say I will stay in the road, but the project do that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't realize that you're not on the track. You see that? So you need a strategy, and we can call that project scope management. Another one, another component of your project, another area of project management is project time management. You have to know if you are on track. I mean, in schedule. I mean, if the project have to be ended next month, you probably know what have to be done and when this uh, these things have to be done to permit to achieve the project on time. So project time management, project cost management's the same. Time, sometimes we say time is money, but you have also to track time, but also cost. Project quality management, it's another area you have to deal with and to focus. Quality, project quality management. Uh, for your projects, you need people. So project human resource management. You have to. It depends, of course. If it's a small project with a few people, it's not the same that if you have a big project with lots of people from different backgrounds, academic backgrounds, or knowledge or experience. So you have to deal with how you onboard these people to permit the project to go in the good direction. And another area of project management is communication, because you have to communicate about the project itself to the people who contribute. So for if you have employees, people have to know. If you have partners that are dedicated also on this project, you have to communicate with them, and you also have to communicate also with the client, because these projects can be as we said, a product or a service, and you can communicate to say, oh, we are working on a very interesting new product. We won't say the more, but uh, stay tuned. You can say that to your clients to permit them to be to know and to receive updates about your project. And project risk management, you have to identify every aspect that can uh, make the project difficult to achieve. I mean, it can be a earthquake, it can be fire. You know, you can have someone who is very important in your project that is not available anymore because someone died in her or his family. So one day he said, I'm sorry, I'm not available anymore, and you have this project that you need to achieve, and you don't have this key person. So previously, if you analyze this risk, you can it's possible for you to define a process that permit to a new person to take the project, because you shared the credentials, you know, for softwares. If the people is not, if one people, a key person who have the login, a password, is not available, and we don't have these passwords, we cannot work anymore. So you have to analyze previously what are the risk if, for instance, something like that occur. And what else? Project procurement management. Procurement, I think that means that you have partners that provide to you goods, services, and you have to deal with them. Imagine for your project, you need food, and you buy food to a company from a company, and this company didn't uh, give you the food deliver. They don't answer to the phone, so it's a risk. So you can put also that in the project risk management. But so you mean to deal with these partners, you need to deal with these providers, and to don't forget to deal with that. And the last area is project stakeholder management. Project stakeholder management. It's the same that procurement management, but uh, three 360, 360 degrees. So that means that you have employees, you have clients, you
Mhm.
have people that are your community. So you have to reflect about uh, how you can deal with people that are far or far or closely uh, involved in your project. So I'm
Right.
sorry, I'm sorry to being so long, but I think we spoke a lot.
We've
Let's
over-delivered.
Yeah,
Over-delivered.
yeah, we over delivered. So let's speak about another model that is called Six Sigma.
Six Sigma. Now, Six Sigma is a set of techniques and tools for process improvement. It identifies what is not working in a project. Uses a lot of statistics, and they employ a lot of statisticians uh, when they're using that model. It's data-driven processes that work by l- uh, that limits mistakes and defects. So that's
Okay,
what they
so
use in Six Sigma.
yeah, in my researches, what I found is that in Six Sigma you have a model that is used, and I found it was interesting. This model is called DAIM AIC. We give you lots of model.
Mhm.
D is for define the problem. M is for measure, quantify the problem. A is for analyze, identify the cause of the problem. I is for improve, solve the root cause of the problem and verify improvement. And the last letter, C, is for control, maintain the gains and pursue perfection. So it's a model inside the Six Sigma methodology.
Right.
Um,
With
and
all the
I
acronyms, Michael, with all the acronyms that we've been going through, Nicholas has one for projects: purposeful, resource, outcomes, justifications, executions, commonalities, and timing. Project,
Oh, nice. Thank you.
PROJECT. We'll add
Thank
that
you.
to our list of acronyms
You know, I
for
I
this.
would like to, we will do that. We will create with Karen. I will do that, and Karen will help you if she's okay. Uh, I will create a website, dedicated to project management with lots of with all the information we gave you today, and all and others I will find during my researches, and it will permit to keep the link between you and us on that topic.
That would be
And
great.
another model is called, and the last, I think it's the last one.
That we're going to
Before,
talk about. It's the
yeah,
last
it's
one
the
we're going
last
to talk
one, and after
about.
that we will speak about the five phases. The last model is called critical path methods, CPM. I don't know if you to the. I don't know if the audience knows this model. So, what is it, Karen?
Yeah, the critical path method, the CPM, is a technique where you identify tasks that are necessary for project completion and determine schedule flexibilities. So,
Yeah, critical path is in project management is the longest sequence of activities that must be finished on time in order for the entire project to be complete. It's I don't know if it's the same. Sometimes we spoke about a bottleneck. There is something that if it's not done, all the project is postponed.
right,
So
right,
it can be a huge problem. So identify the critical path method is something that is often used in project management.
right. So,
So
these are some of the ways of managing a project. What we have. A lot of ways that can manage a project. As mentioned before, all of these methodologies share the same commonalities in getting the job done. Now, there are 5 phases in getting the job done. Now, they are initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and control, and closing. So let's get into that. So, phase number one, we're going to initiate. Mike, I'm gonna let you start it off.
initiate, yeah, of course. It's also called conception and initiation. So this phase one is very important. As we said, you have to define. We come back at the beginning of this episode. We said define your project. So it will permit to create a document that is called project charter, and another one that is project initiation. So it, you can do you can deal with your project. It's not necessary to create these documents. Maybe it's preferable to work directly on what you have to work. But on big projects, if you have lots of stakeholders, it can be interesting to define all aspects of the project in a document. And this document is called project initiation. And another document is called project charter. So look at, uh, do your research about project charter and project initiation documents, and you will discover interesting things.
Right. So our second phase is the planning part, also called defining and planning. Now, the planning phase is key to successful project management and focus on developing a roadmap for the team to follow. Now, during the planning phase, project managers should organize their teams, set up collaborative resources, and set goals. Now, two of the more popular methods of setting goals are the SMART goals and the CLEAR goals, which we've talked about earlier. And some of the keywords are the things that you do during planning is you need to consider is your scope and the budget, your work breakdown, the structure, or in the schedule. You can use the Gantt chart, that's GANTT chart, communication plan, or how your team is going to work with each other, how you're going to communicate with each other, and the risk management. So, those are some things you need to consider when you're in the planning phase. And the third phase, we're going to be executing. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Michael.
yeah. It's the third phase, phase three, execution, also called launch and execution.
Mhm.
So during the project execution phase, the the team um, develops and completes what have to be done. So this phase begins with a kickoff meeting. So it can be interesting to do that, and you have to status on what is done and what is not done, and to keep track of updates. You can uh, also monitor performances. So we spoke about KPIs, uh, and so yeah, it's you are in the phase you have to analyze and also to do forecasts because you have data. So
Mm-hmm.
you need data about quantitative data about numbers, and you also need data about quality. So I think you need status and tracking things, KPIs. Another keyword is quality, and another keyword, as I said, is forecast.
Right. You have to forecast. And as fourth phase we have is monitoring and control, also called performance and control. Now, as your project gets underway, it is necessary to monitor the progress and direction of the project to sustain motivation and maintain stakeholders' support. Now, team members can view each accomplishment as tasks are completed. Now, monitoring a project can also reveal when necessary changes need to be made by providing essential data to the stakeholders. Now, there are several tools to help keep your team on track. Now, since global teams are on the rise within companies, online project management tools help to keep everyone active and up to date. So when you're monitoring and in control or performance and control, you want to make sure you have your objectives stated and clear. Um, quality deliverables you want to be able to produce. You want to have a cost tracking mechanism so you know what you're spending during this time, and performance metrics. So those are things you want to consider when you're in this phase of your project.
And so after phase four, we have phase five. It's called closing, and closing is also called project close. Um, you sometimes we open lots of projects, but we need to close them. So at the beginning, you have to define uh, a time, a limited time. I mean, even if your what you have to do is recurring, you need to close it. I mean, to say, okay, it is a project for year 22. It's a project for year 23. So it will permit you to celebrate because if a project never ends, there is no celebration. It's a problem. So and it will permit you also to have reflection. What was good, what was not good. Um,
What can be better? Yeah.
yeah,
What can improve?
and this celebration and reflection can be also external. I mean, you can do that, of course, internal. I mean, with team members, but you can also share these celebrations and these reflections with people that were involved in the project but are not in core in team members. So clients, providers, um, neighborhood, the people that live in the neighborhood. I don't know. You have to share that, and it can be useful because you will have insights. I can say that in English, insights. I
Mm,
mean, people will give you advices maybe um, to improve that,
right. Right.
and you will understand what can be the challenges if you want to do another project like this one. So I identify the three keywords that you can find and Google. It's the name post-mortem in project management. You can write post-mortem project management, and you will discover a methodology about this closing phase. And we speak also about project punch list. Punch list. Punch
Punch
list.
list.
punch list, project punch list, and reporting. You can also, of course, you will find lots of resources about how to do a good reporting. So it was the 5 phases that we discovered in our research, and
Okay.
we are considering, as we said, working more on project management because we are with Karen, with other directors for GrooveAsia, also for Summit. We have lots of projects, and we are considering also uh, working with softwares. And so we will speak to you about that in next weeks, that softwares that can help you to uh, manage projects. So we need to conclude, Karen.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
So so I will give you my last advices on this topic of project management, and a few words saying that during my research, I realized that project management was a very important subject. It represents a huge opportunity for growth for yourself. If you want to, at the personal level, if you have projects, you can work on that and to optimize the time and the energy, the resources you put on your projects. And you can do the same inside the company. Uh, I think project management is a very important topic. It can permit me, you, probably to be more efficient, to do more with less resources. Uh, um, and what else? I think I think it's enough for me.
Okay.
I Yeah,
Well,
and
as
I will ask Karen if she can add something.
yes, well, project management, like you say, is a skill that you have to have, and that is so right. Having the skill to successfully conceive, plan, and implement a project to completion is definitely a 21st century skill that everyone should cultivate. Now, this skill is useful not only in business, but also in school, at home, wherever a complicated process needs to be simplified. So, become familiar with the phases, and those phases were to what we had talked about earlier. The 5 phases was to initiate, to plan, execute, to monitor and control, and to close. So get familiar with those when you're doing a project, and become familiar with those phases and put them to use the next time you need to complete a major project. So that will wind us up. Michael, what are we going to be talking
Thank
about next session?
Yeah, thank you, Karen, and thank you also to Shingyu again, that is who is backstage. On next session, we will talk about disc personality types, because we all have different personalities, and we will explore that deeper. And we'll also speak deeper also about the Maslow hierarchy. We spoke about that on the motivations, but we can spend more times on Maslow hierarchy. And we and Karen, I think we should remind to people the next event this weekend,
Yes,
summit
yes, yes.
next event, who
Yes, we'll want
people
to.
can be interested. I think it's this in this important 2 days workshop.
Right. This weekend, in partnership with Summit, GrooveAsia will also be hosting a Justice Furnace as he shares his LifePrint OS system to read people's minds. This is going to be mind blowing and you should be there. So you can register at summitasia.com/VIP. It's a 2 day workshop. It's happening on April 23rd and 24th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. GMT plus 8, that's Singapore time. And if you're on the East Coast of the United States, like I am, that will be Friday night at 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. So um, register Don't be late. And when you do register, the membership does entitle you to 1 year of exclusive access to 10 live transformational workshops worth between 3,500 to $10,000 USD. Four past workshops in the Summit Library, each worth at least $1,000 USD. An exclusive entry to the Summit Mountaineers VIP community where you can connect and learn with fellow like minded individuals who have invested in themselves. Also, I do want to give a shout out to Nicholas and Trader Rob, who is with us live today. Thank you very much for your support. Really appreciate that.
Thank you, Karen. I think we did again a good job this week. No,
We
we
over
have,
delivered this week. We really put it
yeah,
on this
over
week.
deliver. Yeah, more than 1 hour. I think we have now more information. You have more information, and you will be able to manage maybe better. I mean, do research on that, and it's difficult to of to be on the theory on the methodology level. Sometimes we want to do operational things, but I think it's important. So do your
Yes,
research on the, and
yes.
thank you, dear audience, for watching us and engage on with comments. We hope you will use our advices to lead your project to the great success.
Right. Well, thank you. And good night for me, good morning, and good afternoon, wherever you may
Yeah.
be.
Goodbye, everyone. See you next
Bye bye.
Friday on the GLU session with us, Karen and I, Michael. And with GrooveAsia and Summit, go to grooveasia.cm and Summit